Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast News with the Sentinel. I'm Oinitam. Let me run you through this morning's top headlines in today's The Sentinel. First up is the state government's, the Assam government's reaction about the Clause 6 committee report, the Clause 6 of Assam Accord high-level committee report. Day before yesterday, the All Assam Students Union and one of the committee members had made the report public. It was a confidential report that was submitted to the Assam government and then to the Union Home Ministry. The high-level committee was set up by the Union Home Ministry. The report was originally submitted way back in the month of February. Now, the All Assam Students Union and certain section of the high-level committee members were upset about the fact that the Assam government was sitting idle on the report. That is exactly what the members had said. The ASU leaders and Mr. Niloy Datta, who is the Advocate General of Arunachal Pradesh, had said while briefing the media day before yesterday. Now, the state Finance and Health Minister, Mr. Himanta Biswa, had addressed a press conference yesterday, and here is what he said. State Finance Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma has said that only the State Assembly can finalize the definition of the phrase Assamese people, adding that a high-level committee can only offer suggestions in this regard. In fact, that particular committee was set up to define who is an Assamese because that was the contentious issue that was holding up the implementation of Clause 6 of Assam Accord. Remember, the accord was signed way back in 1985. Mr. Sharma has further said that the center can take steps for implementation of the committee's report only after the State Assembly finalizes the definition of the Assamese people. This is something that the state government has been maintaining since the report was submitted in February. Addressing the media here on Wednesday, Sharma pointed out the report of the High Power Committee on Clause 6 of the Assam Accord itself has said that it will take 2 years to implement the suggestions made in the report. There are many complex matters that need further verification. This is what the minister said addressing the conference. So once again, the debate on implementation of Clause 6 of Assam Accord is back. The other top story this morning in the Sentinel is about the talks between the NSC and IM, the Naga peace talks between the NSC and IM and the central government. The team of 9-member team of NSCN is already in New Delhi. We have been reporting about this. Mr. Muiva, the chief of NSC and IM, already also in New Delhi. Now there have been certain issues that has been the sticky points as far as the talks, the Naga peace accord is concerned with the central government. The NSC and IM has been demanding a separate flag, a separate constitution for the Naga people. Of course, there is the entire issue of territory to be demarcated with Naga, about the Naga inhabited areas. Now, there is another point that has come up of late is removal of Nagaland Governor R.N. Ravi, who has been the interlocutor for the Naga peace talks as well. Now, the NSC and IM has raised the issue of removing Mr. Ravi as the interlocutor. Here's the story. Amidst the fresh central government NSC and IM negotiations, numerous issues, including the role of the government's interlocutor and Nagaland Governor R.N. Ravi and inclusion of Naga inhabited areas, resurfaced. Officials in Kohima said on Wednesday that senior officials from the Union Home Ministry and the Intelligence Bureau and leaders of the NSC and IM are holding informal talks in Delhi since Monday. While officials of the Union Home Ministry and the Nagaland government refused to disclose anything about the ongoing talks, the 9-member NSC and IM delegation led by General Secretary and Chief Negotiator of the group, Mr. Muiva, expressed resentment against R.N. Ravi. So that is where the talks stand at this point of time. In fact, there were a lot of media reports hinting at a peace accord around August 15th. It remains to be seen how these talks proceed in the coming days and what happens next. In fact, it's been almost 30 years that this particular issue has been going on. Now, coming back to Assam, yesterday in the press conference that the state finance and health minister held, he had also mentioned that each poor family of Assam will get an amount of 830 rupees per month in their accounts. Now, this would be done under the Assam government's flagship Arunachal scheme, and the process for selection of beneficiaries for this budgetary scheme named Arunachal will begin from August 17th. The objective of this scheme is to make a single window clearance of funds meant for the poor beneficiaries of various schemes for which people have to run from pillar to post of various departments. The 830 rupees includes money meant for medicine, sugar, pulses, fruits, etc. Each beneficiary family will have to nominate a woman member since the money will be deposited directly in her account. So, in fact, the health minister had yesterday mentioned during that press conference that that till mid-September he would be coming back and addressing media conferences to announce other developmental schemes for the people of Assam. Now, that's the tweet up on your screen from the minister after addressing, and those are the pictures from the press conference that was held yesterday. Staying on with news from Assam, the State Finance Department has directed the local bodies to submit the status reports on various works carried out from 2015 till this year, and also sought the utilization certificates of those projects. The decision in this regard was taken at a recent meeting presided over by the State Chief Secretary, who is also the chairman of the High-Level Monitoring Committee on the 14th and 15th Finance Commissions. So, utilization of funds certificate being sought by the Finance Department of Assam. Let's now move on to news from other parts of the region. First up, of course, this particular bit of news is related to the NSC and IM central government talks and NSC and IM's demand for Naga inhabited territories. The territorial issue there, Nagaland, is what they want. Now, the All Arunachal Pradesh Students Union has appealed to the center to keep the northeastern state away from any kind of territorial changes while finding a solution to decades-old Naga political problem. The APSU stated that the talks should not affect the state and its people in any way. Here is what the APSU said in a statement, and I quote, "We welcome the initiative taken by the successive governments in resolving the Naga issue. However, we would also like to make it clear that the indigenous people of Arunachal Pradesh will strongly oppose any attempts made to change the territorial jurisdiction of the state or any kind of administrative, political, or other interventions while reaching a final solution to the decades-old insurgency problem in Nagaland," unquote. That is what the students' body said in a statement. Moving to Manipur, 6 Congress MLAs in Manipur quit the assembly. This is another big jolt to the Congress, which has been seeing a lot of trouble in the state of Manipur of late. In yet another jolt for the opposition Congress in Manipur, 6 party MLAs have resigned from the assembly, and the speaker has accepted 5 of the 6 resignation letters, officials said on Tuesday night. The 6 legislators are among the 8 Congress MLAs who defied the party whip on Monday and skipped the crucial one-day session of the House in which the BJP-led coalition government comfortably won the confidence motion moved by Chief Minister N. Biren Singh. Like I said, the Congress in the state of Manipur has been seeing a lot of problem of late. Let's give you an update on the COVID situation in the states of Arunachal Pradesh and Meghalaya. First up, Arunachal Pradesh, 61 security personnel among 96 fresh COVID cases reported in Arunachal Pradesh in the past 24 hours. The state's caseload has gone up to 2,327. Arunachal Pradesh now has 690 active cases. In the past 24 hours, 42 people have recovered from the disease. The total recovery in the state Sorry about that. The total recovery in the state stands at 1,634. Moving on to Meghalaya on the status of coronavirus in that particular state. 37 new cases have been reported in the last 24 hours, health authorities informed. This is an update for the state of Meghalaya. With these new cases, the state now has 656 active cases. Altogether, 42,084 samples have been sent for testing till Wednesday afternoon. Of these, while 40,611 samples came out negative, reports of 294 samples are awaited. So that is the update, and that's all that we have this morning from the Sentinel on Breakfast News. News and updates continue on sentinelassam.com. Do log in and stay updated with all the news from around the region as well as the nation and the world. Also, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. All our news videos will be available on these platforms as well, and we will continue to bring all the news and updates as it happens. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Till we meet again, take care, stay safe, and goodbye.